This is a pattern drafting tutorial, and in today's video we're going to be learning the easiest method or easiest way of drafting a queen and neckline for beginners. Okay, so let's go. Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kosi, and in case of first time coming across my video, thank you so much for stopping by. Please hit on subscribe button and also turn on notification bell so you'll be notified anytime new video is dropped. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming here to watch my videos, and please do where to subscribe so you're always notified anytime new video drops. Okay, and if you're among those sharing my videos, comment on my videos, and also liking my videos, may God bless you all. I want to let you know I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for everything, and let's dive right into today's video. To start off with this tray, we need to make a straight line across. This line will serve as your starting point. Okay, so after that, what you need to do next is to place your tape corner down by 6 inches. If you're very tall, you can mark 6.5. If you are short, 5 inches is okay. So after that, I'll use a ruler to make a straight line across like this. Okay, so I want to teach you a simplest method of getting your drafting your queen and neckline. So after marking the 6 inches, you're going to come down by your bust point, your under bust, your waistline, and 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Okay, so after that, I'll repeat the same thing at this other side. I'll mark 9.5 for my bust point, 12.5 for my under bust, and 15 inches for my half length. After that, I added extra 1 inch for the sewing allowance, and here I went ahead to level. So after leveling, you're going to divide your bust span, that is your nipple to nipple, by 2. Mine is 7 inches. 5 by 2 will give me 3.5, so I marked it. Okay, you mark 3.5 on your bust point, under bust 3.5, waistline 3.5, and rule out a straight line just like this. Okay, use your ruler to make a straight line this way. So after connecting, the next thing you will do is at this upper part here, you will subtract half inch on the side like this. Subtract half inch here. Then you leave the bust point at your exact half of nipple to nipple. Okay, so on the under bust, you subtract half an inch. Do the same thing on the waistline. After that, you go ahead and connect to your bust point. Okay, so from the upper part, you place your ruler, or you can do this with your free hand. Go ahead and connect from there to your bust point. Also connect from the under bust to waistline, and also from the under bust you connect it to the bust point again. All right, so after I was done doing this, the next thing I will go ahead and do is at the same upper part here, I will mark 2 inches. Okay, so if you are busty, you can mark 2.5. So I repeated the same thing on the under bust, and I'll do the same thing on the waistline. After that, I'll use my ruler to connect it. Connect from there to the bust point, and from the under bust to the waistline, you go ahead and connect. Then I'll use my free hand to make the curve. So after that, I will go ahead and blend the sharp point. So after blending here, you can see what I have. The next thing to do now is to add my bust circumference divided by 4. I marked it, add 2 inches for the seam allowance, and also replaced the 2 inches I had at the upper part. So on the waistline, mark quarter of your waist measurement, then add 2 inches for the seam allowance, also replace the 2 inches space you have there. Then after marking, I will go ahead and connect it. Okay, you connect just like this. This is the most simplest way to get this queen and neckline with a bustier effect. Okay, so after I was done with that, the next thing is on the shoulder line. I'll mark half of my shoulder divided by 2. That is half of my shoulder measurement plus half inch stitching allowance. Okay, so after I was done with that, I'll come down by 7.5 inches, which is my armhole length. So after I was done doing that, I will go ahead and make a straight line. Okay, and also mark the the this other side. So after I was done with that, the next thing I would do again is to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then after that, I'll measure what I have from there to the armhole. Then I divided it by two. I marked the midpoint, also came in by half an inch, then mark quarter of my bust measurement. Okay, so after that, I'll use my curve rule to connect the three dots I have there, just like this. Okay, so after I was done with that, I'll mark 3 inches for my neck wideness. Okay, I'll mark 3 inches for my neck wideness. Then after doing that, I will go ahead and connect from there to this other point. You can see from there you connect to this other point. So you place your ruler there, you go ahead and connect to this second line. You can see where I connected it, then make your shoulder slope. So after that, this is what I have here for the queen and neckline. This is how you go about achieving the queen and neckline. So we want to achieve the sweetheart neckline. Okay, so for that, on the 6 inches I marked, I will come down by 1 inch. Then I will measure it to know what I have there in total, and it was 7 inches. Okay, you can decide to come down by 1.5 inches if you want to show enough cleavage. All right, so after that, I will go ahead and form or curve my my sweetheart neckline. Okay, from there, from that same point, you go ahead and connect. Okay, you make your sweetheart neckline like this. After curving it like so, you can see what I have here. So this is all for the queen Anne neckline with a bustier and sweetheart. Okay, so now this side I'm marking here will be cut off. That's why I'm marking it like this. Okay, so after I was done with everything, what I would do is to go ahead and cut it out. Okay, so after cutting this out, I will go ahead and draft the back. All right, so just watch what I'm doing here. So you know exactly the part to cut out. You don't cut out on the right part. Okay, so go ahead and cut from like this. This is the sweetheart. You go ahead and cut from the this curve here like this. Can you see? Do the same thing at the bustier, just this way. So after I was done cutting everything, guys, you can see what I have here. Can you see? This is how yours should look after cutting. All right, so right now we are going to move into the drafting and cutting of the back piece. So this is the back piece. What I'll do first is to mark 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. After making my point, I'll use my ruler to connect it in a straight line. Okay, the back is very simple to draft and cut. Okay, I will go ahead and make a straight line just like this. So once I'm through with that, you will mark half of your shoulder measurement plus half inch seam allowance. Then after that, you go ahead and mark, then come down by your armhole length. Mine is 7.5 and I marked it just like we did at the front piece. So for the neckline, for the neck wideness, I marked 3 inches and also came down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So after that, I went ahead to connect. Okay, so after connecting to the point, I marked 3 inches for my neck wideness. The next thing I will do is to divide what I have from that point to the armhole line, and it was 6.5. So I went ahead to make the midpoint. I just marked the midpoint, also came in by half an inch. So from there, I'll go ahead and connect. Okay, you connect it like so. Then after I was done with that, I will go ahead and mark half of my nipple to nipple. Okay, what I marked there was 3.5 inches. So after that, I will go ahead and label this is the waistline and this is the bust line. Okay, so after I was done with all of that, I will also subtract half inch on both sides. This is for a normal dart. So after subtracting, I will go ahead and connect just this way, as you can see. So after I was done with all of this, next thing is to mark quarter of my bust circumference, then add the 2 inches seam allowance. The same thing at the waist, you mark quarter of your waist measurement, add 2 inches for your seam allowance and also replace the dart. Okay, so after I was done with all of that, the next thing is to make a straight line. Okay, I will place my ruler like this, then I'll make a straight line to meet the armhole. Okay, so that will serve as your bust line. Okay, so after that, for the neck depth of the back piece, I'll come down by 1.5 inches, then I'll connect it. Make your round curve, I be round neckline like this. Okay, so after I was done connecting, the next thing I will do is to make a open yoke for the back. You make a open yoke for the back. This is optional. You can decide to leave the back piece like this and you cut through the bust line I marked or you marked on your piece. You go ahead and cut through this line if you don't want to make an open yoke for the back. Do you get? So now on the neckline you come down again by 1.5 inches. Then for the wideness you can make use of your half of your nipple to nipple. Okay, so for me I just made use of 4 inches instead of 3.5. You can see it didn't end at that point exactly. Okay, so now I want to remove a zip budge. So this is half length. This is half length. What I normally do if I'm making any dress with half length, what I normally do is to come up here by 1 inch. Okay, so after that I will slant it into this other side. Can you see like this? I slant into this other side. So this works so well. It really works. Okay, it works so well. So go ahead and try yours like this. Okay, so after I was done with all of this, you can see what I have here. Can you see? Now I'll go ahead and cut it off. Okay, go ahead now and cut it off. So when cutting this, I mistakenly cut through the 1.5 inches I marked for the zip wideness. So when cutting or transfer to actual fabric, you replace it on the neckline. Do you get? This is what I'm saying here. You can see I cut 1.5 inches out mistakenly on the neckline side for zip allowance. Okay, so when cutting or transfer to actual fabric, you can add the 1 inch. Okay, but if you're making a back loops, if you want to make a back loops, like you don't need zip on the dress, you can just leave it like that. Okay, you just add your small rope, like about 2 inches small, very tiny rope. I don't know what else to call it. You add it there, then you add your button and you'll be fine. So now I went ahead to label the upper part as the yoke, then label the back as the back. Okay, so now this is what I have for the back piece and this is the front piece. You can see how this one looks like, and these are the both piece, the front and the back. These are our queen and neckline. This is how it looks. So when you transfer to your actual fabric, you can go ahead and so after sewing you attach to the down part of your dress. Okay, so we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and bye.